The change of command ceremony is a military tradition deeply rooted within our history and dates back to the time of Frederick the Great of Prussia. During this era, military organizations developed flags unique to their organizations with specialized colors and designs. When the soldiers followed their leader into battle, their flag was used to provide a visible point around which members of the unit could rally during battle. To this flag, both commanders and soldiers of a unit would dedicate their loyalty, trust, and allegiance. The formal change of command ceremony afforded these troops the opportunity to witness a new leader assuming their dutiful position. Today, the 305th Operations Support Squadron Guidon will be passed from Lt Col O'Dell to Lt Col Jarrell, signifying the official change of command. To maintain the proper decorum and respect for today's ceremony, you'll be given various cues to stand and be seated. The ceremony is an indoor ceremony, and all military personnel should render the appropriate military customs and courtesies. As a reminder, civilian guests should place their right hand over their heart during the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation by Chaplain Ruiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you choose, please join me in prayer. Father, you rule all things, from the skies to the seas to everything that lies in between. Everything exists in the universe is dispersed by your decree. You are infinitely supreme and you orchestrate all things. So, mighty God, we trust in your sovereignty. We say thank you for using Lt Col Jonathan O'Dell this past season to lead the ROC as they look to support the Can-Do Wings global reach with excellence. We also express our thanks for the tireless support and sacrifice of his wife, Erin, and children, Sophie, Aubrey, and Addison. Thank you for those wingmen who have served along his side in leadership and for those who have followed him well. For this new season, I ask that you bless Lt Col Justin Jarrell, his wife, Samantha, his children, Jack and Madeline. May their time in leadership of the OSS not just be marked with career success and Air Force accolades, but may you bless them with the great gift of friendship. Help the ROC to perform with precision and serve sacrificially, all the while joyfully embracing their God-given mission and their leader's fresh vision. We thank you for the support of his dear parents, Dale and Vicky, along with his in-laws, Art and Becky, who helped make today a reality. Lord, I lift my voice to the one who governs the governments and establishes the kings, the Prince of Peace who proceeds over prophets, presidents, and priests, who guides the plans of man but graciously allows man to choose freely. It is in your sovereign hand that we trust this next season of service to you. Amen and amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Ruiz, for the invocation. You may please be seated. At this time, please join me in recognizing our official party, distinguished visitors, and honored guests attending today's ceremony. Please hold applause until all have been introduced. Our presiding officer and the commander, 305th Operations Group, Colonel Michelle Lobianco, and her husband, Lt Col Mark Cunningham. Our outgoing commander, 305th Operations Support Squadron, Lt Col Jonathan O'Dell, accompanied by his wife Erin and their children Sophie, Aubrey, and Addison. Also in attendance, his parents Jim and Debbie. Our incoming commander, 305th Operations Support Squadron, Lt Col Justin Jarrell, accompanied by his wife Samantha and their children Jack and Madeline. Also in attendance, his parents Dale and Vicki Newton, and his in-laws Art and Becky Lodge. The Vice Commander, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Colonel Timothy Mock. The Command Chief, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Rodolfo Gomez. The Superintendent, 305th Operations Group, Chief Master Sergeant Salim Muncie. And close family friend of Lt Col O'Dell, Sergeant Major retired John Wilson, and his wife Mona and daughter Katie. We also have the privilege to have with us today commanders, senior enlisted leaders, first sergeants from across the Joint Base, as well as honorary commander and special guests of the 305th Operations Support Squadron. Thank you so much for attending. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Lobianco.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 305th Operations Support Squadron Change of Command. Today is a day of reflection. It's hard to believe that it's been over 15 months since we've been able to gather like this. Who would have thought a global pandemic would strike and change so much about our daily lives? During this time, we've asked so much from each and every one of you. We commanded you to be physically distant, yet expected you to remain socially connected. It hasn't always been easy, yet the airmen of the 305th Operations Support Squadron met those demands and kept pace with tomorrow's threats, all while meeting today's demands. And OSS, wow, did you deliver. You delivered more than anyone could have imagined. I'm so eternally grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. Seeing you all gathered here today, again, warms my heart and soul. Thank you. Today is also a day of celebration. We celebrate the closing of yet another chapter in the 305th OSS's history and the start of the next ideation of the ROC. For all of those who contend in person, thank you. A warm welcome to those who have traveled to be a part of this most special day. Colonel O'Dell's parents, Jim and Debbie, Colonel Jarrell's mother and stepfather, Vicki and Dale, and his in-laws, Art and Becky. Thank you so much for being here today. To all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, thank you. To the community partners and to all of the airmen and the OSS, I thank you. I'm grateful that we're able to be here and also allow virtual visits for those that could not physically be here today from the rest of the wing and around the globe. A virtual welcome and thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't mention two very special virtual guests, Lt Col Jarrell's father and stepmother, Terry and Hilda. Luckily, they are tuning in to watch this momentous occasion. Additionally, I would like to thank our wing command team, Colonel Weirholt, Chief Gamaz, our 18th Air Force leadership, Major General Bibb, Chief Bickley, and our AMC leadership, General Van Ovos and Chief Kruzelneck, for their excellent continued support. A big thank you also to Colonel Teeter and her maintenance warriors for generating aircraft every single day without fail. Finally, to all of our great mission partners here at the Joint Base and community honorary commanders, thank you for your continued support. To Erin, Sophie, Aubrey, and Addie. Today is a special day for the O'Dell family. For 18 months as the OSS commander and about the same amount of time as the director of ops, you, all of you up there, have each sacrificed part of your time with your father and your husband. That time is precious and can never be replaced. I want to personally thank you for that selfless sacrifice. I promise you his time dedicated to the OSS was well spent. He has helped so many airmen, girls. You will never know the level of impact your father has made to the women and the men of the OSS, but you should be very proud of him. And to John's parents, Debbie and Jim, wow. You raised an outstanding and incredibly passionate man. His empathy and compassion for his airmen is a tribute to your family. I sincerely and personally thank you for allowing him to serve with us. To Samantha, Jack, and Madeline, I want to welcome you to the ROC. This new adventure is going to go by quicker than you think. I'm not going to lie, and at times it's going to be hard. But you will have more joy, laughter, and love than you can ever imagine. You are now part of an extended family. There are so many airmen, civilians, and sailors and their families in the ROC that are looking forward to meeting and sharing this adventure with you. Today, I have the privilege and honor of conducting one of the military's oldest traditions, the change of command. We are honoring two outstanding leaders, Lt Col Jon O'Dell and Lt Col Justin Jarrell. Let me first share a bit about Lt Col Jon O'Dell and the incredible legacy he leaves behind in the 305th OSS. It's okay if you pull out the tissues now. It's allergies. Okay. Compassionate, empathetic, bold, caring leader. These are all words airmen use to describe John as the commander. The fruit of his labors in the ROC will feed generations of airmen to come. Colonel O'Dell has had a fantastic career. It is said that all roads lead back to McGuire, and I'm sure eventually we will see you again. I promise. I'm sure that you will enjoy that just as much as I enjoyed coming back to you. His substantial experience within the KC-10 community has made him one of the most trusted aviators. He has worked just about every job you can possibly do in the KC-10, from training to executive officer to FTU instructor, and after exhausting his experience in the KC-10 here in America, the Air Force sent him to an exchange program to the Netherlands to fly the KDC-10 as an instructor. Of course, he did phenomenal work with the Dutch. I know it must have been hard to leave the Netherlands, but what better place to return than to New Jersey and the 305th Air Mobility Wing. And in this assignment, we asked you to do one of the most complex jobs in the wings, the Director of Operations for the OSS, the only tri-service OSS in the Air Force, the largest and most complex in AMC. And your success afforded you the opportunity to become the OSS commander, a job that I know is as difficult as it is rewarding. John's dedication to the airman mission and the upcoming KC-46 conversion effort as both Director of Ops and the commander has made the OSS extremely successful. Under his leadership, the ROC enabled and executed rapid global mobility all day, every day. It's true, ops don't stop in the ROC. It is because of John O'Dell's leadership, the ROC will be ready. During your command, the ROC supported 2 airfields, over 40,000 passes annually, and 15 interagency and joint operations, ensuring the safe execution of the wing's mission in the nation's busiest airspace. The ROC was recognized as the 2018 AMC OSS of the Year, the 2020 AMC Airfield Operations Flight of the Year. There are too many awards of individual recognition to cover here, and in fact, his single squadron in this past year garnered almost 1/3 of the Wing's annual awards. John has truly developed a collective culture of drive and dedication to the mission and to the people. When the pandemic started, operations never stopped. His FTU still needed to train the next generation of aviators. His air traffic controllers, RAPCON, RAWs, AFE, Intel Tactics, Siri, Airfield Management, Crew Comm, and Weather, all of those airmen, sailors, and civilians had to figure out how to operate in this new contested environment. They needed Colonel O'Dell's leadership and vision to succeed. He worked with his team not only to keep up with the trends, but to grow and thrive as an organization. The Air Force is in the process of converting to a major weapon system, and the OSS will be the key to its success. There was no time to pause, no time to retreat and hide away. You were the patient, steady gardener during this crisis. You generated calm in the storm. Because of you, your people were given stability, and they flourished like never before. The mission is important. It cannot fail. Thank you, John, for your dedication. But it's more than just dedication. I should also commend John on his compassion and his empathy. I have seen him help others, reassure them that they are valued and have purpose. He has toiled to connect each OSS member to the mission. I have witnessed him caring for his airmen before and throughout the pandemic, and to build a remarkable squadron culture. It is that collective culture of connection and cohesion that is the catalyst for success. John pushed that interpersonal connection to one another, the connection to the Air Force core values, and the connection to the mission. His leadership aura enhanced this collective culture that is geared to finish the KC-10 mission, while keeping eyes to the KC-46 transition horizon, and of course, maintaining unwavering mission support to the C-17 and to our joint base mission partners. Finally, John, your awe-inspiring, bold leadership. I will share with you a quote that I believe describes John. RBG said, "Fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you." and that's you. I have watched you guide airmen without stamping out innovation. You lead by example. You give everyone in your organization confidence. You allow them the space to grow and to realize their best selves. In your tenure, your airmen have earned 13 wing, 18 group level awards, 8 BTCs, and 3 ALS distinguished graduations, among many others. And most recently, multiple exceptional performers spotlighted by the Inspector General in our recent inspection. I know, but more importantly, the airmen know that you and Aaron are the ROC's biggest champions. When I walk into the OSS, one thing stands out above all else: pride. Your team has been successful, and that is a direct reflection of the leadership of Lt Col Jon O'Dell. You have done an extraordinary job. You, Aaron, and the kids have left a lasting legacy here. I wish you all the joy and success as you transition into that next chapter. Congratulations on a job well done. It is now this legacy that Lt Col Justin Jarrell now inherits. As the group begins our divestment, it will be you, Justin, that will now guide the OSS through that transition, all while maintaining the world-class support needed to continue flying operations. The ROC is in the great hands and will continue to produce world-class airmen. Justin is joined by his wife Samantha and children Jack and Madeline. Welcome, and we are excited to have you in our family. Colonel Jarrell joins us having recently served as the 6th Airlift Squadron as the Director of Operations. He's a graduate of the Weapons Instructor Course and the School of Advanced Air and Space Studies. That means he's really, really smart. His knowledge of the complexity of future operation and his participation in lead planning skills in large flag exercises makes him the absolute right choice for the next commander of the ROC. Justin, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The task is large, the task is difficult, and the task is at hand. You will be the one to shut down the FTU as we transition from the KC-10 to the 46. Oh, and you will still have to fly, generate, and deliver combat capability in all your free time. Luckily for you, you have a phenomenal team ready to join your vision, and you are ready for this. You will meet any and all challenges we throw your way. You're going to crush it, I promise you. I look forward to your tenure, the passion and earnest desire you will bring to the airmen and their families, and I look forward to continuing serving with you. Again, John, congratulations on a job well done. Justin, congratulations to you on your new command. The ROC is in excellent hands. Go forward, lead well, make it matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Lobianco. Please stand for the medal presentation. Attention to orders. This is to certify that the Meritorious Service Medal, 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, has been awarded to Lt Col Jonathan C. O'Dell for meritorious service from 11 June 2018 to 17 June 2021. Lt Col Jonathan C. O'Dell distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 305th Operations Support Squadron, 305th Operations Group, 305th Air Mobility Wing, Joint Base, McGuire-Dix, Lakehurst, New Jersey. During this period, Lt Col O'Dell led Air Mobility Command's largest and only tri-service operations support squadron, which supported 1,300 aircrew conducting over 3,500 flight operations, including 4 continuous Joint Chiefs of Staff directed alert missions. Additionally, he overcame the challenges presented by the global COVID-19 pandemic, ensuring continuous operations for the nation's most complex airspace and delivering 5 million test kits and 3,000 medics to New York epicenter. Colonel O'Dell's leadership extended across Air Mobility Command through his chairmanship of the Operations Support Squadron Air Mobility Force Council, driving solutions to the command's most pressing issues, including full spectrum readiness and KC-46 integration. Finally, Colonel O'Dell emphasized the professional development of all airmen as a critical element of readiness and a core tenet of building a winning team by initiating an operations group-focused national defense strategy course for all ranks. As a result, Squadron personnel earned 12 major command level awards, and the ROC was recognized as Air Mobility Command's Operations Support Squadron of the Year for 2018. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel O'Dell reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Lieutenant Colonel O'Dell.
All right. Hi. Sorry. Got to put these on. So do we get, I realized, do we contribute to the VA by how many emails we have to read in command? Because my glasses don't really work as well as they used to. I didn't know if that's a contributor or not. Anyways, that was my first attempt at a joke, but good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see everybody. It's so great to see you, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being a part of this today. It's a great day for the ROC. For those of you not familiar, we're not talking about Dwayne Johnson, though I'm sure he's having a great day. Second attempt at a joke. But first of all, I want to extend a thank you for the crew that made this happen today. Of course, Master Sergeant Causey, Tech Sergeant Cooper, and Staff Sergeant Olson. Captain Goldstone, who freshly dry cleaned his uniform just for today's event, as he told me. Looking sharp. To all the proffers, to all the ushers, to the setup and teardown crews, I will tell you that the location had changed a few different times, and when we finally had decided on the theater, the resounding statement was like, "Sweet, we don't need chairs." So that was good. To Chaplain Ruiz, thank you so much for being here. I wish you and your family Godspeed as you head to Turkey here in the very short future. And you truly have a calling, so thank you. I appreciate it. And to Mike Pohemus for doing the audio-visual, also a mentor as well. I appreciate the dedication to this event. So if we can get a quick round of applause for all those that contributed. So first things first, I owe a debt of gratitude to so many people. Unfortunately, more than you and I have time and patience for, but I'm going to do the absolute best that I can. I'd like to start with those I owe a personal thanks for helping me reach this point today, and then to the partners on this base that helped our squadron continue down the path of success, and then tie it up with the ROC itself. It's interesting when you reflect on a period in which you owe so much gratitude, when your heart is so full and you really don't know who to thank first. You really just want to kind of hug everyone at the same time. But it would not be right for me not to thank first and foremost my beautiful wife, Erin. The ushers have just a small token of gratitude, but understand that no material object could accurately reflect my appreciation for you, so please don't ask for it. In a trying time, you are an all-star wife and a mother. Continuing to push through your business, transitioning our 9- and 7-year-old to homeschool with a 3-year-old in your back pocket, and dealing with me as I navigated this privileged and challenging role. You deserve the world. Our daughters are wonderful, loving spirits that are thriving because they feel and know they're empowered to amount to something great, and that's because of you. To my daughters, Sophie, Aubrey, and Addie. Sophie, you're simply wonderful. You're a great friend and socialite. When I watch you with other children, you communicate and build relationships. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. But you feel out your place and you run with it. And I will tell you that that will take you far in life. To Aubrey, you're the bravest person that I know. You have come so far in the past 2 years in so many ways. And I want you to know that sometimes I try to be a little more like you. To Addie, you're 3. You're cute as a button, but good heavens, do you pack a punch. Your tenacity will take you far in life, I know. I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I just think your mother and I need to ensure we're pointing your thrust in the right direction. So, To my parents, in short, I am who I am today because of you, Mom and Dad. The building blocks of who and what I am was built on the foundation of empathy, respect, the occasional sarcasm, but genuine love for all people that I attempt to exude today. Colonel Lobianco always asks what our 5-year plan is, and ma'am, from a personal side of things, it's to be a little more like the man that my dad is each and every day. My wife would say I'm already there, but I am definitely not referencing the graying beard, the terrible jokes, and the dashing good looks. But to my friends, the Wilsons, John, Mona, I know Katie couldn't make it today. Years ago, you invited a young lieutenant and his wife over to your home to decorate your Christmas tree. Mona, don't cry because I'm looking at you and I'm about to start myself. The first of many Christmases that we wouldn't make it back to see our families. You may never know fully what that meant to us, but that's military family, and it could very well be the reason that I'm still wearing a uniform today. To wing leadership. To the wing leadership, both past and present, thank you. Colonel Dave Leroy, now retired, was the vice and a very big reason why I found my way back to McGuire. A big thanks to Colonel Jackie Breeden for having the confidence in me to charge me with the command of the ROC. And to our present wing leadership team, first to our wing commander, Colonel Wiederholt, thank you for your mentorship and your leadership. I know he couldn't be here today, but most notably, thank you for having confidence in me to lead this great squadron. To our outgoing vice commander, Colonel Leonelli, we go back to the days of young Major Leonelli, who doesn't look much different than he does today, and Lieutenant O'Dell, who looks a lot different than he does today. In the 32nd ARS, thank you for the contributions you've made towards my development, and thank you for supporting our squadron. And to our new vice, Colonel Mock, it's great to see you again, sir. I know you'll be as blown away with the squadron and impressed as I have been over the course of the last 3 years. And also to my fellow Chicago-born Bears fan, our command chief, Chief Rudy Gomez. You've always said our most valuable asset and weapon system is our airmen, and that resonated with me. Your focus was always on them, and that meant a lot and guided me. To our operations group leadership, first Colonel Quincy Brunnan, who made the first phone call to tell me I was hired as the OSSDO, and a huge thanks to a great mentor, his successor, Colonel Mark Green, of whom taught me a great deal on what it meant to be an OSS commander, and to Colonel Lobianco, my current operations group commander and former commander of this great squadron. Ma'am, thank you for everything. Thank you for your confidence. Thank you for the latitude to lead this squadron as I saw fit. Thank you for allowing me to make decisions, which some I stumbled. But you were there to ensure that I learned from it, and I became a better leader, officer, and person for it. To the deputies in the past, Mace McGarvey, Nate Higgins, Polk, and now Scott Rowe, there's no better sounding board for us commanders, whether you like it or not. But thank you for listening, advocating, and being there to support us at every turn. And to Chief Cook, Chief Andrea Cook, you're a mentor and a real friend. You taught me more than you could possibly imagine about how to be the right commander for the Airmen of the ROC. And so much of who I am in service to this unit is because of her direction. In the end, I not only became a better commander, but a better person. I'm very grateful that her, you, Kevin, and Zaria came into my life. And in your words, I'm stuck with you for life, and that's okay by me. To my fellow squadron commanders, past and present, Scotty Byram, Damon Field, Jason Batchelor, and presently Nick Arthur, Jamila Fitzpatrick, and longtime friend Derek Rankin. You're the best partners anybody could ask for, and I appreciate each and every one of you for your understanding that commanders succeed together in partnership. Without the support of one another, this OG would look much different. One in particular meant a great deal to me, and that was my predecessor, Jim Curley. Many of them know him in here. Jim, we shared many phone calls on my way home. Ones I won't share here, but in short, your friendship means the world to me. To the maintenance group leadership, to Colonel Teeter, of whom is not here today, but ma'am, you're a role model to so many. To Ski, I'm not sure if he got here today. Nope. Since the two of them have joined the leadership team at the maintenance group, it's been absolutely exceptional, so phenomenal leaders. To the squadron commanders of the MXG, Kaylee McLean, Chris Sweeney, Ben Lowry, and Matt Ratcliffe, you're the best. The relationship I have with each of you I will cherish forever. And to all of our joint base mission partners, to the CE group as well as the comm squadron, thank you for everything. Well, this is a bit surreal. In a way, I'd like to say it feels like yesterday I took the flag of this elite squadron, but it'd be an understatement to say that a lot has happened since January of 2020. From growing Iranian tensions at that time, to a pandemic 2 months later, to the social unrest that brought to light some much-needed changes to our great nation. All these things transpiring while you all, as the Rock, continue to prepare yourselves for acceptance of the 46, the continuing divestment of the KC-10, providing unimpeded aircraft operations on 2 airfields and 24/7 coverage of our airspace above. You as a collective ensured $9 billion in assets from our squadron continued to support the mission of this wing. For comparison, that's 8 times what Wawa's got. So, boom. Thank you, Travis Harvey, for that data point. When I took command of the Rock, I told you all that when our squadron reactivated in 1991 under a variation of that patch, it was indeed just that, a symbol. In fact, all patches are symbols, but they represent communities. They represent a collection of people after common goals aligned with common ideals. They are people, and without you, it's just a patch. Vince Lombardi was the greatest coach for the worst team possible, the Green Bay Packers. Got to throw that one out there. Thanks, Chief. But he said a lot of great things, one of which I've used it before. Perfection is not attainable. But if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. That's what the Rock did during my time here. During this year of trial, I was inspired as I watched aircrew flight equipment volunteer to make masks with equipment in the parachute section. I watched them adjust schedules to preserve health, have meaningful discussions about life, all while developing an appreciation for their career field heritage. On display, if you find yourself in Building 2202, I'll miss you, AFE. To our air traffic controllers, you're skilled beyond measure. And as a pilot, I thank you for keeping a section of the nation's busiest airspace safe. When COVID struck neighboring air traffic sectors and rendered them impassable, you stepped up and took control. I'll miss our 1 Charlie 1 controllers. To our airfield management operations team here at McGuire, you kept a 15.5 million square foot installation 24/7 operational through my entire command. It facilitated the delivering of thousands of COVID test kits around the world, the delivery of medical personnel to New York City and numerous high-priority alert missions, supporting not only the President, but to the protection of this nation. Thank you for all you do. To our radar, airfield, and weather systems team, both fixed and deployable, thank you for beating my rear at basketball yesterday. You humble me in many ways, including on the court. Your expert management of all electronic infrastructure that keeps our airfield and pilots safe, thank you. In your name, I'm going to recycle what I've said many times. The fact that nobody really knows what you do is a testament to how good you do your job. Don't ever forget that. To the Air Department, our Navy sisters and brothers at Lakehurst, you kept another entire airfield open for operation. From the controllers to the AG weather folks to the T-liners, airfield management to the ground electronics maintenance sailors. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you do. To Wing Tactics, SEER, Crew Comm, Wing Training, and the host aviation resource management teams, you kept air crews qualified, ready, and best prepared for tomorrow's contested environments. With the KC-46 on the horizon, we have leaps and bounds to go, but that will never change. That's what chasing perfection really feels like. To the wing intelligence flight, you've dealt with a lot of moving and shifting throughout the installation, yet you still get the job done. You're a resilient group, a passionate collection of airmen, and one I've grown to love and appreciate. I'll miss you. To our KC-10 formal training unit, as divestment of our beloved KC-10 looms overhead, you will churn out crew members you still do that have passion and pride for this airplane. When COVID reduced ops in so many units, you actually picked up the pace in safe, effective manner. In fact, the first I heard the word Zoom was from all of you. I had no idea what it was. Instead of telling me you wanted to explore using Zoom for academic purposes, you should have preceded the word Zoom with "you should buy stock in," but whatever, I guess we'll live and learn. To our current operations, you adopted telework during the pandemic and never missed a beat. You still plan, coordinate missions with poise, and I thank each of you for what you've done. To our weather flight, what a culture you have. You're an exceptional bunch that during our nastiest winter season in years implemented methods, virtual methods to communicate weather to air crews, something that's been absolutely appreciated by all. You're all innovators and leaders in your own right, and I'll miss you. And last but most certainly not least, our command team staff. Major Harvey, Master Sergeant Taylor, Chief Wagner, you're all friends for life, and I hope you know how special you are to me. Thanks to the ADOs, the command support staff, the execs, nobody really understands the amount of work, You all do. Sometimes you narrate. And yet you do it so well. I am so grateful for you, and the squadron owes you a debt of gratitude. And to Melissa, our secretary, I only wish we joined forces sooner. You're a wonderful add to our team, and I'm going to miss you a ton. In closing, it's been an incredible journey, one that wouldn't have been possible without the support networks to our ROC members at home. So to the spouses, the children, the parents of our ROC members, I thank you. I'd like to make one final request to the members of the ROC before I leave. And I've said this to our Navy folks earlier in the week when I visited them, but I want you to reflect over the next few days about who in your life you owe for sitting where you are today. And I'm not talking about wearing this uniform. I'm talking about who you are as a person, as a human, as somebody that serves. And I want you to call them and tell them that I said thank you. Because without them, there's no you. And without you, there's no mission. And that's just a symbol again. Retro, you're the right guy for the job. I've got to know you real well over the last year, and particularly over the last week or two, which has been great. You have a passion for all the right things in life, and I know you'll take it to the next level. Best to you, Samantha, and the kids, as you embark on this journey. The Dutch have a special place in my heart as I spent years with them. And when they said goodbye for what would be an indeterminate amount of time, they used one of my favorite phrases, tot de volgende keer. It means until next time, because we all like to think there will indeed be a next time. So to the ROC, I love you, and tot de volgende keer.
Thank you, Colonel O'Dell. Everyone, please stand for the change of command ceremony.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Under the provisions of the Air Force Instruction 51604 and Special Order Number G190021, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan O'Dell relinquishes command of the 305th Operations Support Squadron to Lieutenant Col Justin Jarrell, effective 17 June 2021, signed Colonel Michelle A. Lobianco, Commander, 305th Operations Group. Please be seated. It is with my honor to introduce the Commander, 305th Operations Support Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Justin Jarrell.
All right. I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to God for the continued opportunities. Thank you specifically to Samantha as a small token of appreciation. They have something for you. And thanks to Jack and Madeline for being so quiet. It's impressive. That's rare. Thanks, babe. Thanks for your support over the years and the years ahead. Much appreciated. Thanks to Colonel Wiederholt, Chief Gomez, thanks for being here. Thanks for the opportunity. Now Colonel Mock, Colonel Leonelli, thank you for this opportunity. And ma'am, to you, Colonel Lobianco, thank you I'm starting to understand the legacy of the rock and what it means. So this responsibility means a lot, especially coming from you, and I'm humbled to have that opportunity. Thanks to my parents and Samantha's parents for making the trip out here. Love you guys. Thanks to my friends, the hooligans up here on the third row. Sharp looking, but beware. Thanks for making it out here. I don't think you appreciate how much it means to me that you made the trip, so I really appreciate that. Thanks to KC and his team for setting this up. Amazing work. Thanks to Mr. Polhemus for his AV support back there and what I expect will be a lot of long conversations, sir. So thanks to you in the future. Melissa, Travis, the execs, thanks for welcoming me so far. It's been great, and I very much look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks to the Bully Beef and the ops team, and specifically Jamila, for your teamwork over the past year and showing me a peek behind the curtain of what command is like. Honored to work with you. John, you are a tough act to follow, man. I've been able to watch some of your engagements you've had, and I see the love you've had for your folks, and I see the reciprocity and their excitement for seeing you and those conversations. Thanks for your level of effort. You've done a fantastic job from what I see, and you're making it much easier to assume this position. Then there is that voice. You were made to fly airplanes and make radio calls. If I were giving you a check ride, I'd give you exceptionally qualified just for that voice alone. So it's awesome. I need to go a little bit deeper, I guess, in my speeches in the future. To the members of the OSS, this event is about you. It may not feel that way, but we have these formal ceremonies to relay the seriousness of this commitment of command. I have my family here. I have some of my closest friends so they can witness this commitment, which I'm giving you now to empower you to get after our mission. All these buildings, all these beautiful airplanes, all this equipment means absolutely nothing without every one of you individuals in this room. I can't emphasize that enough. Going forward, we will be functional experts, we will learn from each other, and we will take care of each other. We in the OSS will remain the bedrock of the wing. Now let's get after it. Thanks.
Thank you, Lt Col Jarrell. The men and women of the 305th Operations Support Squadron are proud to have served with Lt Col O'Dell and wish him and his family good luck in their next assignment. At this time, please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. This concludes today's ceremony. Please form a receiving line on the left side of the auditorium. And join us in welcoming Lt Col Justin Jarrell at the back for a small reception. Thank you all for your attendance and have a great day.